What's up, everybody? All right, man. Today is Friday. What is it? February the 4th. Man, time is moving fast already. We just came into the year, and it's already moving pretty quickly. But tonight I think I got something special for you guys. We're here. Tonight's title is, as an African woman, are you willing to, or would you be willing to marry a Black American man as a husband? And the reason I ask this question is not just because of my own experiences, it's because of what's going on in the world today. As you know, we have the so-called modern day woman. We have the gender wars going on. Black men put against black women and vice versa. And right now, I mean, the atmosphere has been pretty much the same over the last decade as I see. Me, myself, coming back from Africa after about 9 years of living there, coming back about 2 years ago, being back and forth, I'm basically just catching up with a lot of everything else. I didn't even know it was this bad. I had no idea that it's gotten this bad. And unfortunately, we see a lot of the things going on overseas as well. That, you know, it's not just that the West leads, but it's like Black American culture, whatever they determine is the culture today, is what begins to lead the world. So when it comes to that, they're the leaders, we're the leaders, and everyone else is the followers. And that even includes our African counterparts. Whereas whatever it is that we do, you know, even though they 1, 2, 3 steps behind, they're basically trying to, you know, follow our lead. And as flattering as that may be, some things are not necessarily even good to follow after. There's good and there's bad in any and everything. And I would say that the majority of women in West Africa pretty much still, you know, abide by their own culture. But you still have that fraction of people who are looking more to what's going on with the woman in America. And like, oh, I want to be like that. I want to be independent. And as much as people will say that there's nothing wrong with being independent, in this terminology that we use it for, being independent of a man, it's never a good thing. God did not make us that way. That's why relationships of women who determine to be independent, say I'm Miss Independent, they never succeed in what it is that they truly desire in life. Because their purpose has been left behind. A woman's purpose is a man. And I know a lot of women would say that, even like when I met my wife, she would talk about our education, how she wanted to get this, that, and the other. Would ask her why. Like, you know, just in case you leave me, this and the other. So we have women who are operating out of fear in this day and time. And it's been like that for a long time. And it's been put in their heads by their mothers. And a lot of time, the mothers are the ones who leave the men. And then they turn around and put that very fear in the heads of their daughters, which makes no sense. And like I said, I'm talking about this through experience, situations that, you know, I'm around, that the mother could be the one to leave the husband for no good reason, but still tell the daughter that make sure you get your education because you can't depend on man. A lot of women are backwards. I mean, what can I say? But also, as I was saying that, what she was saying is like, I just want to make sure that I could take care of myself just in case. You can't live off that just in case. You can't. There's nothing that's guaranteed in life, not even relationships. What you have to understand, you have to learn how to pick well. And a lot of women do not understand how to pick a husband, just like a lot of men don't understand how to pick a wife. And that's where this trouble falls into. But that's where I come into play. To help brothers understand what to look for in a woman if they're looking for a wife. When you're looking for a girlfriend to hit it and quit it, you're just wasting time, wasting years, and you're putting a lot of karma on your life. So if you determine to continue to live that way, by the time you're 30, 40, 50, you realize that you ain't got nowhere in life. And by that time, Nobody probably wants you because you accomplished nothing in your life. So I don't really talk to those men who are out there on the corners ripping and running and doing the same thing from 20 all the way to 60 years old and don't seem like anything changed. I like to talk to the middle class and on up. Middle class, the upper, to the rich, to the wealthy elite. So that's where I'm coming in at. And let me see something. I wanted to, I'm trying to figure out how all this works. All right, she's asking me. Have somebody coming on right now, hopefully. Let me chat her. Oh, I forgot to send her the link. That's what she's saying. Oh, stupid me. All right. I don't know how. Let me see if I can send. Okay, here we go. All right. Her, Walker, send. And, I can't see which one she is. Okay, got it. All right. There's a lot of things that go into this also when we're talking about the idea that Black American men can begin marrying African women or Black sisters on the continent. I say this because it opens a lot of doors that we both need on both sides. It begins to mend the fences. It begins to build the relationship that has never been there. I'm a Black man. I'm marrying African. We have a child. Our child is both American and the citizen and everything that comes with it in Africa. By that, she's able to maneuver as a citizen, born citizen in, say, Ghana, like, me, Ghana, and do the same thing here in America. She's able to buy land easier over there. She's able to mingle with the people over there even easier because they're going to look like, oh, she's Ghanaian. So now you're bringing two of the same people, distant family together. It becomes easier when you're in the family to be able to build over there instead of just going out the blue and having to trust people, trust strangers, or getting ripped off. Now you're building family structure together. Now you're able to travel back and forth, maneuver, build better, build with trust because you have a family that depends on you just like the wife is depending on you. So now you're able to build with a peace of mind that everything is not just for you, but it benefits everyone else. This opens the doors for Black Americans to do a lot of things over on the continent. To be able to open and invest in a lot of industries. To use that money to work for them back here if they so deem it necessary. But what it does, it completely joins the two that have been separated for so long. Let me see how I get you on there. I'm trying. Am I sending a wave or am I sending? Okay, I think she got a. So I think she has to send a request. Like, I'm just new at this, so I'll figure it out. But Tried that out with the wife the other day, just told her to send a request. Let's see if she figured it out. All right. Oh, you too? Yeah. All right. Oh my goodness, what the heck? What do I got put in the very name? I don't even know. Spell people's name at the top. All right, here we go. Let's see it though. Good evening, good evening, good evening.
Good evening, how are you?
Ikedemma. I'm fine, how are you?
Okay.
I know you're sleepy. I got you up late at night.
Yeah, kind of.
Oh, you look tired, very tired. Sorry, I got you at your worst moment.
Exactly.
Oh,
I had
yeah,
a very
but you
long
know the,
day.
huh?
I
What
had
you,
a very long day.
oh, did you?
Yeah.
What you cut your braids out?
Is it?
You cut your braids off?
Yeah.
Oh, why?
My hair got bad, so I just had to.
Uh, well, make it grow back nicely, okay?
Yeah.
All right, I'm not going to keep you long. We do about 15 minutes real quick. Introduce yourself to, this is Black America that we're speaking to. So,
Okay.
name, where you from?
Okay. So, Miracle. I'm from Nigeria. Eastern part of Nigeria. Um, I'm 22. I'm a student. I study microbiology at the University of Port Harcourt. So basically, what else?
I'm leaving it up to you. You don't want to interview it, not me. All right,
Okay,
let me help you out.
so
Do you remember
okay,
we had a discussion maybe like 6 months ago? Um, we was talking about marriage and everything. And
yeah,
you said to me that you wanted to delay marriage because you wanted to go get your education and get everything yourself financially ready to be able to,
yeah,
do the things that you wanted. And I told you I think that's a mistake. We had the discussion, and I said this was about 6 months, maybe 8 months ago, even early in the year before the summer. So I told you that you was making a mistake because what's going to happen is that you're going to spend these remaining years, the next 6, 7, 8 years, chasing your education. I'm not saying anything's wrong with chasing your education. I'm not saying that, and I don't want you, because we got mixed up about that last time. I said that the thing is, you're going to spend a lot of this time chasing all of that, and by the time you turn around ready for marriage, you're almost 30 years old, and now you got to compete with the 22 years old. You're already 22, but 8 years from now, you're going to be 30. Then you're going to have to compete against the very people who you once were. And that becomes difficult, and in Africa, and not just with African men, but with Black American men. I'm a Black American. I know who we are. I know how we act. I know how we think. And I'm telling you that at the right age of 22, and it's also good that you're not out there flaunting your body. You kept yourself, and you have your purity, you have your innocence, and that is a beautiful thing. That in itself is something to offer a man, where a man will look at it like, you know what, this one is a good one. This one could be the traditional wife that I'm looking for. and I'm willing to put my time, effort, and money into building her up to be what she need to be. And what I'm saying is, education is fine, but you still also have to think about, listen, you need to think about your family. What type of family you're going to have, how soon. The later you, the longer you go without putting this as a focal point in life, it's going to be more difficult. You see women, you know, even in Africa, when a woman turns 30 years old, it's damn near impossible for them to get married. Is it not? Unless they have money, it's hard for them to get married.
Yeah.
And what I'm saying is you don't want to fall into that. So my suggestion is that you heed my I don't want to say warning, but my advice. Let me ask you, when you think about men, me knowing the type of girl you are, when you think about men, what type of men do you see yourself desiring to be with? Like, give me an example of what's this ideal. I'm not talking about the fantasy world, like people look at TV and a man drop out the sky who got $1 gazillion and 8 feet tall. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about realistically.
Okay, so basically, I'm from Africa, so we love looking out for
Oh,
God-fearing men. But
sorry. I'm sorry to interrupt. From Nigeria. So just so let's just let the audience know. So from Nigeria.
yeah, so I'm from Nigeria. So basically, here in Nigeria, we are a lot of things here in Nigeria. But for me, I think a man that I'm sapiosexual, by the way. So I think a man that has high intellectual power is a turn on for me, and someone that is God fearing too. A Christian, I'm a Christian, so a good Christian, not just any type of Christian, a good Christian, someone that is financially stable. Basically, that is kind, you know.
What about looks?
Looks, not so much their looks, just be good looking, don't be ugly. I don't like short men.
So just a basic man. Most men are not beautiful anyway. Men are not
I
made to
know,
be beautiful. Women are made to be beautiful. And we
yeah,
look at women in that way. Women shouldn't be looking at the beauty of a man so much as everything that he brings as far as a man is there to be the provider, to keep you safe, and to direct you in life. That's what a man is there for. And you multiply with that man and build up productive family structure, family children.
yeah.
Going back to one thing you said about, see, this is the knock that I have with a lot of people when they say Christian. First of all, I hate that word Christian because I'm not a Christian. I am a believer, but I don't use that terminology. Now, I made a whole video on my Bible channel about why I don't use the word Christian and only believer or saint, because that's the name that everybody who was a believer used, a believer or saint. The word Christian applied 3 times in the Bible. It was never used by another believer to call another believer that. But
Okay.
that's neither here nor there. What I'm saying is that another reason is when you say Christian man, a lot of these Christian men are not Christian at all. There's nothing godly
Yeah.
about a lot of these men that call themselves Christian. So a lot of times, y'all women say that y'all don't understand that y'all are really separating yourselves from a whole number numbers that I don't even know, but a whole group of men that might be willing to be with you and be a good man to you, but that word saying he got to be a Christian. See, there's 2 reasons I say this. One reason is most men are not Christian anyway, who say they are. They live more wickedly than the people in the world. Number 2, a woman like yourself, me knowing you as a woman, by you being a believer, and just like the Bible says, that even if you are unevenly yoked, it advises against it. But if you are in a certain situation, and most of that's if you became a believer or whatever, and you're married, you still can win that man and direct him to God just by the way that you're submissive to him. You understand? Because a
Yeah.
guy will look at like that, like, oh wow, man, this God of hers is really something. She's so different from everyone else in the world. So I would say that don't say he has to be. Don't let that be a deal breaker. That's all I'm saying.
All right.
Some men believe in God like me. I would never label myself a Christian. but you know I have strong faith. I don't deal with the churches, but you know that I live by the way that God wants me to live. Treat people the way that you want to be treated. Take care of your family, be a provider, protect, all that, study, read. So I do all that without having the title Christian. So I'm just saying, don't let that in itself be a deal breaker. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right. And also, when Black American men, I don't know if you know what's going on in America with the gender wars that Black American men have gotten to the point that they're so sick and tired of their women because these women want to be men and they're so masculine these days. But when
Yeah.
we look at African women, especially West African women, which is who the ones I know more than any, um, your culture is still intact enough where even wanting your education, you're still raised to be submissive to the authority of a man. You
Yeah.
want to pick properly. You don't want to pick a man that's going to be abusive by any means whatsoever. But is it safe to say that you are a submissive woman, or you were raised to be a submissive woman, wife? I would say not woman, but wife.
Okay. So here in Nigeria, we have a specific rules that a wife is supposed to play for a husband. So I believe in that. I don't really believe that women and men are created equal. I don't believe in that fact because we have different strengths as creatures, as let's say living things. We have different
Sorry. One second. You're
strengths.
cutting up a little bit.
Just the same way you can compare a cat to a dog. We are created differently, both in looks and in strengths and in our abilities to do things. So
Well, it's cutting up some. It's cut. Your
I
network
believe in a
cutting up a little
family, in
bit.
a
Now,
home.
I'm gonna.
When you're married to someone, you should respect that fact that
Oh, I don't think she can hear me.
okay.
See if we can get it back. All right, we had a little problem with the network. When I see if she can get back on, hopefully, she still has some credit on her phone because with Africa and this credit issue, phone time runs out. It's terrible. But anyway, I'm gonna try to plug in, read between the lines a little bit until she gets back. Basically, it sounded like, but I want to confirm it with her when she gets back. Sounded like that. She says she doesn't believe that men and women are created equal. Where she's from, they're not created equal, and they have different, not just different abilities, but different positions and different responsibilities in the world. And that a woman should not look at herself as being equal to a man when she is not made that way. It wasn't for her to be made that way. Let me hit on my Facebook again and see if we can get it back. Back to I'll do this thing. All right. Anyway, let's get back and see what goes on. So basically with this, like I said, this is something that needs to be done, needs to be talked about, needs to be explored. Because of everything that we as black men are looking for, we don't have to go outside of our own sisters to get it. We may have to go to a different continent to get it, but we don't have to go away from our own sisters. I love black women more than anything on this earth. I love all women. I'm attracted to every woman, every type of woman on this earth. That's neither here nor there. But I desire to be black with black women. That's the reason that even early on when I had long-term relationships when I was younger, I didn't want to go too much. I didn't want to get too serious with it as far as marriage, even though there was a lot of history there with a particular one, because it would have been mixed race and nothing wrong with it, but it's just not what I wanted. I wanted my children to look like me, to represent who it is that I am and where I come from. And I love being me. So I think that if we start opening up our minds and trying to imagine what it is that we can do and become, you never know what can happen. Great things can happen. And another thing, a lot of people think that, oh, I have to make this amount of money to do this, that, and the other. I'll tell you no lie. I'll tell you no lie. During the time when I left Ghana about 2 years ago to come back here, I'd had no job. I was making some money from some, at the time from a little rental that I had at the time. Now, once I lost that, I came back here and I got a job. I started off at about $32,000 a year. My first year working here, even though the job allowed me to leave when I needed to, I left in the summer. I didn't even work there that long, but 8 months. I was only making probably like only $15 or $17 an hour. I don't even remember what it was. But I worked that. Dealt with my wife's visa at the time while making this little bit of money. I'll go back over there. I'll come back now, get a different job, better job. Now I'm making about $42,000 a year. And with COVID hitting, wasn't really even able to make that 42, but because we got that $500 or $600, all that extra money that added in, it allowed me to still be around that $40,000 mark. And that $40,000 mark, I was able to go back, get my wife, bring her here. As soon as we landed down, didn't have a real place, rented the room. Months later, moved into a new apartment. Months later, bought a new car. Months later, had everything basically we need. And just recently last year was able to renovate my entire home back there in Ghana to put on Airbnb, which it is now. So all this, you got to make 6 figures and have this, have that. It's not even true. It's not even true. Until last year, I've never made 6 figures on my own. And even then, it wasn't really on my own because my wife added, her income into it. So up to last year, I never made 6 figures. But she was already here for a year before we even was able to do that. We had already had our house and our land. We already bought the land in Kumasi 2 years ago. So all this was done with a $30,000 job and a $40,000 job over the course of 3 years. So to tell me that you got to be 6 figures to go over there, find a wife, a beautiful wife, nice submissive wife, and have to have all this intact, absolutely false. It's false. And I'm not just going to say, oh, because I did it once. No, it's my third wife. I did it with my first wife in Ghana too. So I'm just saying, I've been there. I've done this multiple times. So all that they're telling you, it's just really silliness. But the thing is, black men have to be willing to marry the African sisters over there so we can begin to truly, truly bind and unite ourselves. Because right now we've been discombobulated, dysfunctional since the days of slavery. And now with the new technology with the internet, all the new applications that we're able to stay in touch with each other and communicate. I mean, there's nothing holding us back now. We have everything that we need. All we need now is the willpower, the desire to do these things so that we could benefit not ourselves today, but benefit our children's children's and the future. This is something that could be big. This is something that can help us really break through to what it is that we need. And yes, do we need African brothers to marry some of our sisters? Because they may be the only ones that's willing to take them off our hands by that time. But no, on a serious tip, it's how should I say this? It's more believable that a black man could leave from here and go there and find a lovely traditional woman, and they can live happily ever after. And the same thing can happen vice versa. But if you look at the history of it, African men, when they marry black American women, it doesn't really fare well. It's like nostalgia, if I even said that right. It's like I want to say the forbidden fruit because that's normally with Becky, but I think a lot of men get enamored with the fact of being married to an American woman, and when they get here and when they settle down with them, then they really see the behavior problems and why we did not marry that particular person. And with black men, it's different because black men are not willing to marry the woman that we're offered. The woman that we have to choose from, we're saying that we're not willing to settle for this. We're not willing to deal with this any longer. We want what we truly believe we deserve. So for them to go and grab an African sister who's a traditional woman, a traditional wife, that's believable. That could work. The chances are greater for that to work than the other way around. And like I said, not saying that it can't work, but you really have to vet who it is that you're being with. Because one thing you have to understand that I noticed in Ghana, I haven't really seen, I don't remember seeing any black Americans in Nigeria. The years I lived in Nigeria, no matter what town I lived in, I don't recall ever meeting a black American. Well, in Ghana, I've always ran into them. Whether I was in Tekarati or Accra or wherever, I've always ran into a black American woman in Ghana. One thing that they have in common, and you brothers in Ghana know exactly what I'm talking about, attitude. When black women, normally they're in their 30s or 40s or a lot of times 50s, late 30s, 40s, 50s. Every time that I run across black American women, we don't really chat a lot because that chemistry, you can see it's all from the start because you could tell, and they're normally walking in groups or with another woman. They're never married to anyone. They move, travel. Sometimes they just travel for vacation or travel because, they like coming back and forth, or some people move there. But the one thing they also have in common is a terrible fucking attitude. One thing I'll never forget. I was actually on my way to network with one of these sisters on Facebook, and I felt like, you know what, I'm going to be doing something soon, so I probably can help her out. And by the time I got to, she probably watching this. I done blocked her on Facebook and every which way when I was in Ghana. What was it, last year or the year before? And by the time I get to Akasumbo, I'm telling her like I'm on my way because I'm with a friend of mine, and he's telling me like the place is like an hour and a half drive away. And I'm like, damn, it's that far? It's getting a little late. And we got to catch the right car, this, that, and the other. So I call her to let her know, yeah, my guy just said, she just went off. Like, what do you think, I'm playing games? Like, if you gonna come in, come. Let me talk. Let me talk to the guy. You said you'll be here this hour. So, hey, hopefully I can make it at this time. Didn't happen. To South Africa. I'm like, yo, are you serious? From that day forward, I just blocked the call. I blocked the number, blocked everything about her. Never allowed that girl to contact me again. Every day of my life. Once again, she was in the late 30s. A lot of people know her on Facebook. So I'm not even going to play her like that to say her name. But like I said, these women don't change just because they go to Africa. And I'm just saying that a lot of African men see that it's hard to work with our Black American sisters because they've been told the wrong thing. And that's why with Ikedemma, I'm trying to get her to see the mistakes of those in the past and those in the present time for her not to make the same mistakes. So I know I caught her at a bad hour. She was tired, but we'll pick up tomorrow. I got Duchess coming on tomorrow. I got Josephine coming on tomorrow. We get back to Ikedemma. So, like I said, their best time for them is Saturdays. So I'm going to respect that. A lot of the women that I talk to, they all say Saturdays is best. And I know how African can be. So we're going to definitely do this every single Saturday night. Get as many women on, get as many girls on as we can. Now, we're going to try to figure this out together. We're definitely going to try to figure this out together because, like I said, it's something that needs to be explored to see if this can help alleviate a lot of issues that we're going through as Black men. I don't want to sit there and run up and take all the sisters away from, my African brothers. And that's not the issue because there's too many women. That's the problem. There's far too many women in Africa, way more than men. So something has to give. So this works out for the benefit of everyone. Working together here extends those benefits to people over there. You're able to build together. You're able to build a family, leave legacies, and leave land and building structures for your children's and your children's children. Now you can say that you own land. That is going to be passed down from generation to generation to generation. It's a win-win situation. It's just that we have not been willing to look outside of the box, which is really not outside of the box at all. It's looking right in your backyard to see your family playing back there like, hey, I got my family back there. Forgot all about them. You know what? You in the front yard, you're giving me too many issues. So, you know what? I'm going to talk to my beautiful sister back here playing in the backyard. That's all it is. There's nobody selling out. You're mixing with pure African blood. You're mixing your children's blood with blood that's tainted here with African and European blood. And now you're mixing it with pure African blood. You're building warriors, true warriors. You're building bridges to build industries and foundations that will last and that will build us up as a people. This is something that we really need to take serious. So again, like I said, Ikedemma, I know she's probably asleep. I caught her at a bad time. We're going to be here tomorrow. I don't know what time. We're going to have to do it early because everybody want to get on early. So in my mind, we're going to start at 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, our time, U.S. Eastern time. So I hope you guys enjoyed the show. I look forward to talking to you. Now, like I said, man, this is the Marion Ghana Show, a.k.a. Stephen D. Lyles, a.k.a. Dalo Fine, a.k.a. Dalo. All right? So you guys have a good night, man. Peace out. Oh, she's here. I'm about to... Ikedemma, I was just about to hang up. All right, send a request. Send a request to join. She's like, no, I'm here. All right, Ikedemma, send the request. Let me go turn my stove off. She waiting for me. Oh, there you go. What happened? Credit?
No, I guess network. MTN. Wahala.
What this guy doing? So, all right. Now that you're a little more woke, I had asked you about how the culture about submissiveness and the authority of a man, how the structure is there in Nigeria. You were going into, but we were getting some network issues. So you want to go back over real quick?
All right. So basically, what I'm just saying is that naturally, as human beings, we were never created like with different with the same abilities. Men and women, we have different places we function. Just like men can have children. I mean, they can give birth to babies. So you don't expect them to. We occupy different niches naturally. So that's what I'm saying. So basically, the man is the head of the house, and there can't be two captains in a boat. Yeah, marriage, you're supposed to work together, but then there's supposed to be a head. So men are the heads, and we women, we are there to support.
Helpers, a helpmate. That's what God made Eve for. That was the whole purpose of a woman to reproduce, to carry on the human existence, and for her to be a helper to man. Now,
Yeah.
let me ask you this. If I know the answer to this. I mean, I know the answer, but I'm going to ask you. If you don't know, I'm going to give you the answer, but I'm going to ask you first. Why do you think it is that you Africans, West African women, understand this and live by this and desire to be this, but Black American women fight against it so hard with the feminism?
Well, I feel it's because of the kind of world we live in. Here in Africa, we saw our parents live like that. Um, we saw it as a normal way of life, but then Africans over there, they've mixed with the Western cultures, and then probably they got off some wrong ideas and all of that. And we live in a world where we've been told that we can be all we want to be, like. So
Mm,
we everybody wants to be the head. Nobody wants to be
exactly.
told
Nobody
to.
wants to be the child.
So, but then because of that, there's a lot of disorderliness in the society today because parents can't even caution their children because everyone feels that, oh, don't tell me what to do. I've got everything figured out. And it's not really nice because it's causing a lot of problems in the government, in society. Everybody just trying to put themselves out there. Nobody wants to listen.
And
But
that's that's the problem.
Here in Africa, I feel that most of us, we grew up in a functional family, having a dad and a mom, and I feel most times we are bound by culture. You know, um, the way we do things here is different, and we feel that this is our way of life, and we have to embrace it. And since it's working out, when something is working out, there's no need to look for another option because this is basically working out.
You're
We feel that,
22 years old,
yeah.
and your maturity level is greater than women here who are 42 and 52. What you're saying now, you have to beat it over the head of a Black woman who's at the age of 32, 42, or 52. But you're 22. And the difference with you is you were raised from birth to be this. They were raised from birth to be the very opposite, to go to war with their men. And it doesn't work. And you see that it's dysfunctional. We we are at an all-time low here in America with Black American. We're disrespected daily because we don't have any strength, because we don't have any homes. Without family, you have no power. And if everybody's just for themselves, single mothers and babies running around the streets, and the men over here doing eight things, there's no power in that. And like you said that if something is working, there's no need to fix it. That is great. That is absolutely great. But go on, you were saying something else. I'm sorry if I cut you off.
Okay. So what I'm basically saying is that maybe over there in America, you know, most of the blacks were taken as slaves over there. So a lot of people lost the culture over time. You know, lots of people doesn't they don't even know their roots. They just feel that, oh, There's the African way of doing things, there's the Mexican way of doing things, there's the American way of doing things. So because we are created as Africans, I feel that maybe the American way of doing things may not actually work for us because that is not who we are. Maybe it might work for them, fine and good, but
Well, no, it doesn't work for us.
yeah,
That's why we're
that,
here right now, because it has not been working. If it's been working, I wouldn't be here with you. But this is my thing, because you have it right. You have it right. Now, there are so many black men right now. Let me turn this off. Sorry about that. There are so many black men, black American men, who are looking for the same thing that I went looking for. I want to ask you this. Those men are looking for the very thing that you are. Would you consider yourself being able to ever marry a black American man if he's so interested in you?
well, he's African, so I don't have any problem with that.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm
We're
not
all black. We're all the same color.
yeah. So it's who he is not about being black American. It's the kind of man he is, like I mentioned before. Is he kind? Is he passionate? Is he a good person generally? Because they are I wouldn't just marry any person just because they are black American. No.
Right.
The compatibility, the passion, the drive. Are you guys headed in the same direction in life? Are you guys passionate about the same things? And then you guys have a common ground to stand on.
Well, when you say headed in the same direction in life, the only thing that a woman should be headed in the direction of a man is to build his family, to raise his kids, and help him along the way for whatever his purpose is, whatever he's there to accomplish in life. That's what I believe anyway. Like, it can't be
Yeah,
like, oh, well, I want to be this, I want to be that. Y'all, a woman has to always follow, as long as a man is leading. When I say lead, you know when a man is able to lead and when he's not. I mean, it's not hard to
yeah,
tell from the two types of men. You see the street boys hanging on the corners, you know they can't lead a family into the Atlantic Ocean. When you see a man who can lead, bring your face down a little bit from the camera. There you go. When you see a man, you know whether he can lead or not. And when he's able to lead, that's when you as a woman are to put your trust in him, your full trust in him, and allow him to lead the family in the direction that he has deemed best fit for whatever circumstances may be. The same thing was with me. My wife might have wanted to stay around her family, but she understood that, you know what, whatever my husband wishes to do, I have to follow him, even if it's away from my family, because she's no longer tied to her family. She's tied to her husband. That's the way women have to always look at it. But like I said, a woman has to always be able to choose the type of man that's able to lead. Even in Nigeria, you see what's going on, that they're taking up a lot of things that, we made normal over here, which is young girls having babies out of wedlock. Now they're ruining their whole lives because they will, even though they will know that it'll be very difficult to get married and be provided for throughout the years of my life, from the time I'm in my 20s throughout my 80s and 90s. Oh, I think the slow net. All right, let me just continue though. 80s or 90s. And think that it's going to be easy to get married, which I don't think it is. They know it's not going to be. Did you get what I just said? You there? Can you hear me? Hear me? I think we back to the network problem. Just got to talk. Let me know when you can hear me.
okay, I can hear you.
All right, yeah. Unfortunately, you know, Nigeria don't have the best network. So, yeah, I know.
You basically have the worst things. Everything.
Well, listen, I know. This is my thing. My thing is, I don't want you to waste your years, your youthful years. I want you to be available because people will contact me. Matter of fact, I'm gonna leave your contact. You could leave your contact too here, but people will contact me about you. They're going to investigate. I'm going to investigate them. But I, knowing you personally, know how decent of a human being you are, know how honest you are, and not a lot of people everywhere are like that. I've been through all of Nigeria, so I know when there's a good one. Like I said, we've known each other for years now, since you was coming out of high school. And now that you're 22, I'm glad to see that. And like I said, I really want you to make yourself available for a possible marriage. And my thought process is to want to see us as a people bridge that gap that we've had there so long because of what happened in slavery and where we stand now. That just like it can benefit you from being married to a Black American man, it will benefit him just as much by being married to you, by having that traditional wife, by having that link to the continent itself. So in reality, it's a win-win situation for both parties. And this is how we begin the healing process. And this is how we begin to bridge that gap that's been there so long between the African Americans and the Africans. So this is my purpose right here now. I'm making this my, not my sole purpose, but my purpose, a purpose of mine in life, to help bring us together by, if it has to be through marriage and so forth. Because back in the day, when you had arranged marriages, a lot of the times arranged marriages was in order to keep certain kingdoms stronger by having that bond. And it has to be the same way with us now. We have to look at each other and be like, you know what? We have to start marrying each other. It has to be that way. If we're to overcome our oppressor and do what we need to do and climb out from this lowly place that we've been for so long, it's going to take both of us to unite together to do this. Y'all can't do it alone. We can't do it alone. Yeah. Together, we could conquer the whole world. You understand me? All right. So by the end of this year, if not even probably in the next days or so, I'm going to have you ready for a marriage by the end of this year. You hear me? That's one of my goals. So once again, Ikedemma, that's how I pronounce your name, even though I'll mess it all up anyway. But thank you for coming on, and I'm definitely going to have you on again. I was supposed to get to a couple other people, but I know tomorrow's best suited for them is like 2 a.m. over there, so I'm going to let everybody sleep. And me and you will talk when you wake up. Shoot me a message. Me and you'll talk from there. Network again. All right, guys. She's having network problems. So like I said, we're going to pick this up tomorrow afternoon, Eastern time. Somewhere between 2, 3 at the latest. So once again, I hope you guys really enjoyed the show. I'm starting to love this, man, because this is how I started off. When I first traveled to Ghana back in 2011, it was for the sole purpose, not the sole, it was a big part of it was I had a company called African Scam Detector. And guys would contact me. I would literally go to Africa, get enough clients in a period of months, and $500 here or $1,000 there. And I would literally stay there and investigate these girls, do interviews with them, and give them feedback. But technology grew, and I felt like I was no longer needed. But now I see that I am needed. I see that over 10 years ago, I had that calling, but I thought it was just like a brief thing. And now I really see what my calling is. My calling is something that will benefit our people, all of us together. So like I said, this is who I am. This is what I'm here for. And this is what I will accomplish. So you guys, I want you to check me out on YouTube also, and Facebook. At Facebook, you can reach me at Stephen D. Lyles. That's Lyles. Here on Instagram, The Marangana Show, and on YouTube, The Marangana Show. And I'm thinking about doing a separate channel called Marangana Matchmaker to connect with my mgdating.com site that we just let go because the guy who ran it from Bangladesh is no longer around, unfortunately. So I'm looking for someone new to restart the free website that we've been doing, mgdating.com, stand for Marangana Dating. So this year is 2022, man. I'm going to be all over the place, doing a lot. I'm not going to rest at all this year. I mean, this is the year to make it happen. You got to ask, why not me? And that's the one thing you got to ask yourself. If you want this type of life for yourself, ask, why not me? And then go out and do it. Make it happen, man. Ain't nothing holding you back. Because the things that's holding you back, you're hearing that from other people. And that makes you not go and make any attempt to actually do this, to get this. You have to be willing to put in the work and make the attempt. As long as you listen to people tell me, no, unless you have this, unless you have that, you can't do this. You'll always be second guessing yourself. The only one to listen to is the man in the mirror. Outside of that, everything else is dead. This is dead noise. So once more, man,